Okay, so we're doing a little bit of some color choosing.
Well,
because we
why?
came in, I was so excited.
I know. And I said I wasn't making any more projects, but this one's too cute to pass up.
Yes.
You can hold your little.
Yeah, so we are looking at starting the Jethro Cardigan.
It's Tanis Fiber Arts. Is that who it is?
I think so.
I had it open on. Oh my God, look at us. We're so.
It's
we've
hard
got
for
a
me to
tablet,
figure that
a
out.
phone, another phone, a microphone. We are so high tech.
Tanis Lavely.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
I am not sure if I'm saying Lavelli. Yeah.
Sorry, Tanis, if we're butchering your name.
Yes.
But that cardigan is really
cute. I've crocheted before, but nothing, like I've never crocheted a granny square before.
It's easy.
So that is why I was like, I think this will be a great first crochet
For someone
project.
who is not an experienced maker, I would say don't start off this way.
No, yes.
But you're a very experienced maker and just sharp as a tack. So
Thank you.
I'm confident you're gonna dive right in. Okay, so we're gonna pick colors, right?
Yes.
So what we decided to do is just do a little stash busting. I mentioned before that I usually knit with natural fibers.
Mm-hmm.
I crochet those blankets from Attic 24 with the Stylecraft acrylic DK that they make, which I think is real nice, and I like it just because you can wash it. But I have a ton of leftover of that, so we're gonna dig through that for colors, right? For the granny squares, and then pair it with these grays.
Yes, we've got a couple different grays, so honestly, it's your choice what gray you want to do, but I think we can kind of wait and see what.
Yeah, and I think
what our like color palette is. So,
and I think for mine, like, I probably won't use the same. I'll probably only use the gray for the sleeves, the hem, and the button band.
Oh yeah.
And let the granny squares be totally this. The reason I'm saying that
she's got. She has a little bit of a border.
She uses the same gray around it for the border, right? I'm gonna not do that because I'm worried, honestly, about how the acrylic's not gonna grow much when it blocks. The superwash is.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of a little nervous to introduce that around but I guess if it was everywhere, it would be okay.
I think it might be, yeah. And it's going to be big and oversized no matter what, too. So
yeah.
I think that
the reason I bring this up is because I dabbled around with machine knitting for a period of time, and I made these very simple Afghan squares. And machine knitting can be interesting because the patterns, there's not a lot of modern patterns written for it.
Okay.
And it doesn't use the same yarn weight as hand knitting.
Okay.
It's different because generally it comes on cones, which you want to use.
And it's a lot finer, right?
It's a lot finer, but it depends on your knitting machine, right? So I did use more of a DK weight. I had like the, I can't remember it used to be sponsored by Lion Brand, but it's more of like a plastic hobby knitting machine, and I actually really loved that one. And then I had a pretty fancy one too, and that one you really did have to kind of, knitting machines come in different gauges.
Yes.
So, you need one for fingering, you need one for this. I mean, it's like a whole...
You need like a whole house
whole
dedicated
thing. Yes,
to it, like a warehouse.
Which is why I kind of abandoned ship on it, because I'm like, you can't, it's just too much. I can't take it on. But it's beautiful craft. But I made this blanket once, and I used all the same brand of yarn. The colorways were so different that each square blocked differently, and it was
wow, that is crazy.
I didn't swatch and block each color. So, you do have to consider that sometimes.
Yes.
Which is not something I would have ever thought of. So I was thinking the more acrylic, probably the better to keep it nice and stable.
And then you just adjust your gauge for the sleeves and the button band as needed.
Yeah, right, because you're going to knit those anyway. Right, this is a combo project. So that's going to be a
totally different...
It's going to be a totally different animal, so I feel like safe.
Okay.
Use all this for the grading squares, and then... Because a gray is going to go, it's a neutral.
Yeah, exactly.
So how do you like to go about picking colors? Because I have some thoughts on this.
I know you do. I know you have your palette that you stick to.
I have my palette. So I mentioned on a couple episodes ago that I'd done the So Liberated's Mindful Wardrobe project, which was fantastic. And the color study is not part of the course, but they do, they give you the info and recommend that if you can afford it, you want to do it, you want to spend money to do it. So I did mine. I sent him pictures of myself in different lighting, and they came back with this color palette. I'm a Moonlit Winter.
Ooh.
So honestly, I really only, for garments I'm gonna wear, I stick to this. And now my closet is so mix and match interchangeable.
Yeah, that's amazing.
I mean, I would have never thought you could put a lime green with, with a red, but when you do, I was like,
It looks pretty cool.
That looks really good together. So it
So
all
very
makes,
bright jewel tones, kind of the
yeah,
vibe for
it's
you.
the clear colors.
Yes.
Right. So that's how
I need to do that.
go about it. But you can also, I got this tip from Andrea Mowry. You know, I have never missed an episode of her podcast. I just love her. Everybody knows that. I love her. And she recommended getting a color wheel. And it has been super helpful because you can do complementary, split complementary, tertiary,
Yes.
you can figure it out, and it kind of just gives you a starting point, and it has the color gradient from a more clear to a more, I don't want to say cloudy, but
Opaque
more
versus,
muted, a more muted tone or whatever.
It's all about the
word's not coming to me.
saturation.
I studied color theory rather. Color therapy. Color theory.
Some things make you happy and some make you sad.
There
might be
red
some-
makes you angry, but then why do we all love Target so much?
Right.
I don't know. So anyway, I did study color theory when I was in design school. So I already had I used to have a color wheel, and then of course I got rid of it over the years.
Yeah,
but
you're
when
like,
she
when
said
am I
that,
ever
I was
gonna
like,
use that again?
oh, that's such a good tool. So I do pull this out, but less so now that I have my color chart done.
Third tool I would suggest is there's a really neat website called Coolors, and you can build a like a color palette on there. And what they do is you put in a couple of colors that you're thinking about
That's
using,
cool.
and then you hit the space bar, and it kind of shuffles to other complementary colors that work.
That
so I'm
sounds
gonna
fun.
pull that up
Yeah,
for
pull it up.
myself.
Let's see what it comes up with. Because we also gravitate, you and I, to very different color palettes.
Yes.
Which I love.
Yes. I don't know if mine is necessarily correct for me.
Well,
so.
all that
I need to
matters,
do that thing.
in my opinion, all that matters is, are you happy with the result and the way it makes you feel wearing it?
Yes.
The issue I was running up against and why I did this was I just always went in my closet and I felt like nothing went together.
Yeah.
Because I was just buying random, random trend,
whatever's on
whatever.
trend. Yeah.
And I really wanted to get to know myself better in terms of style and color and so for me, this is the way my brain works. This has been a super good tool. Oh, that's cool.
So these are trending palettes.
Show the people. Sorry. If we were really high tech, we would flash it up on the screen.
Yeah, I would do
all
a
that stuff, but,
scrolling screen capture. But yeah, there's different color palettes here. I'm just
So
scrolling to
fun.
see.
Yeah.
That's a gradient, obviously. And there's only so many you can do in the free version, but what I do is I'll do 5, and then we need 10 is what we determined. So I'm not sure if I'm really loving
I would
any
say
of
you can
these.
get away with 8. I
Yeah.
think you could do any combination you want as long as you have enough colors for the granny squares to look fun and defined.
Yes.
It's in the spirit of the pattern.
And different, and how are we that's the thing that I'm scared about is how do you randomize what colors you put where and stuff like that.
See, I have no fear about this because I'm going to pick off my palette and then I know everything's going to
Okay, you go first then.
And I'm just going to randomly
do the
it.
scraps.
But here,
I kind of like this.
No, let's just dump
let's
them
look
all
at
out.
what's in there. Yeah.
Just dump them out, and it doesn't matter if the tags fall off. We'll figure it out. Here, I'm going to move these.
You want me to keep dumping?
Yeah, just dump them out over here.
Oh, this would be a fun one on your
I was going to wear something cute and handmade today, and it is so hot outside. And I was at the pool with the kids before this.
How did that
which is
go?
also humid. It's really great. I sat there with my AirPods on, and I watched The Bourne Legacy with Jeremy Renner.
Amazing.
I love Jeremy Renner, and Jeremy Renner, if you ever see this video, I'm very glad you are still alive.
Yeah, that was crazy.
That was crazy. That guy's amazing. Anyway, if you don't know what happened to him, look it up.
Look it up, yeah.
It's crazy. He got run over by a snowplow, and now he's back to acting.
Is he?
Yes.
Wow.
Some show that I don't have the streaming service for, so I won't get to. Mayor of Kingstown or something.
Oh, he's doing another season of
He's
that?
he just filmed another season
Wow.
of it, and they showed a clip on, I was watching Jimmy Fallon on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
And did you ever see the Jimmy Kimmel and Jimmy Fallon where they kept switching places and people didn't even notice?
No.
It's so funny. But anyway, he was on there and they showed a clip. Snagging that one.
That is yours, yep.
That one. Maybe that one, yeah.
I like
They
that
start
so
snagging,
far.
don't
I
wait
know,
for me.
you're like,
Dibs.
I was interested
Here,
in
I
your
think
story.
that looks like a U.
A rusty.
What about that with it? Or do you want some more?
I don't
you
want
know?
it like too granny Afghan, I don't think. I was thinking you had a lot of pastels in that blanket, and I was kind of liking that, but I don't know if I'm a pastel girl, you know?
I think you can pull off whatever you want.
Thank you.
You could wear a burlap sack and you'd be cute. So don't.
That's kind of what that
Fear
other
not.
not perfect linen dress looks like right now.
Oh yeah.
Honestly.
But it feels like a burlap sack.
Yep.
I will say
about, like,
I got one of their dresses. I have a yellow one, and
Uh-huh.
it is supposed to be like oversized.
Uh-huh.
So I think it depends on the cut and the style. All right, what do we think? How are we feeling about this so far? Maybe
I
these
like
are
it.
too close together.
I think so, yeah.
I think I'm
Go
gonna.
for the more saturated one, yeah.
Yeah, I think that one.
What do you? I'm.
Uh-huh. Yep, I like where you're headed. Ooh,
What about like
See,
something
so
like
I'm-
this for
look,
the
I keep bringing it
tangerine?
over, and I'm like, is that close
Correct.
enough to my little chartski?
Which one? Which orange do you think?
I think you could do both.
Yeah.
They're so different that I think they both work. Let's see,
Okay.
1, 2, 3, 4,
Okay,
5,
so we got
6.
like an orange. I'm gonna get rid of this dark purple here,
We got a lot
and
of.
I'm gonna walk because this is very similar to this lapis.
It is, yep.
The olive
Mhm.
is similar.
Yeah.
The
And the
vanilla.
orange.
This is
These are kind of both like in between.
Do you think like maybe instead I do like that's the
I
same?
think it's the same color.
Do I do like this?
Yeah, those are both
And
camels.
for the
Oh, I
vanilla.
like that. I think you could do both if you wanted to, because there's enough
Mhm.
difference between them.
And then the tangerine, I got kind of this going on here.
Yeah.
So then I'm gonna go ahead and
See how much of this I have left over. This is why we're using. I don't want to waste it, so.
do you have like a
use
hot pink?
Well, I've got
See.
this. We could split it.
No, I was thinking more orangey pink.
Nope. All I have of this stuff is what's here.
8. I have 8.
I think you could do 8 colors and be.
Here's that
fine.
melon. Is good. Alright, again.
I think maybe I need.
Fairy tale? Do I need like a pinky? Like
Yeah. I
that?
think you need
Does that
a
round it out?
Okay, I've got 8 here. What do you think? How do you feel?
That
about
is
this?
you. I love that you found the blue. That teal blue. What do
Yeah, and there's not a lot of it, so, but I'll put it like, use it like the center.
the center for a few?
Mhm,
Yeah.
For a few of them. And then, we do, if we run out, we can always come back in and add
Yeah.
a color or two, Okay,
What do you think for me?
yeah, I think that's
How
awesome.
did you pick it up?
Yeah.
Here, let's do our little thumbnail. Both of us holding them up
Oh, okay, hold on.
with our feet.
Behind the scenes here. This is gonna be on the cut reel.
Yes. There we go.
You can have a bag.
I have
A
this
very
bag.
stylish bag. I'm gonna put mine in here. I'm gonna start off with these and see how far I get.
Yeah. And then,
And then,
which gray do you think you want?
I don't care. I think either one is fine. I think the warmer one goes better with
With
your
mine?
palette. Uh-huh.
And then do you like the cooler one? Or
Yeah.
do you want me to get more of the warmer one for you?
Yeah, I like the cool. I'm more of a cool
tone.
Cool.
Girly.
Cool. That's Moonlit Winter's
Is this
cool.
too close then?
Oh, maybe. Yeah, maybe you need something with a little more contrast.
Sorry.
Is that? No, it's fine.
It is. It was.
Parchment, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, some of them are in the middle. And it doesn't matter if you lose them or whatever.
Well, maybe honestly, maybe I don't need it, and then I just do the border.
Yeah.
In it for
Yeah.
all of them.
Yeah, you could.
Okay.
I think it would be okay. I think if you use the same board, that's what I've got to, see, I'm not going to worry about a unified border color.
Okay.
I think I'm just going to do mine completely cray-cray.
I love it. It's kind of granny chic, but that's in right now.
Bring on the cottagecore, people. I'm here for it.
And I got my set of whatchamadoodles.
It's raining yarn. Duck egg. I don't know which color that is. I think it's a blue. Oh, hold on.
Speaking of eggs, we have a nest in our hanging pot.
Oh, cute.
Yeah, we almost killed it, but we brought it back.
What do you mean you almost killed it?
Remember when it was windy a couple weeks ago? We took down the thing because we thought the flowers were still alive, but it was actually taken over by a bird family.
Yeah.
And so we took it down and we put it on the ground, and that's when we realized there was a whole nest in there with eggs.
Did you put it back up?
We put it back up.
And then Mom came back.
Mom came back, but Justin had to go back up on the stepladder and push the eggs back in because they had rolled out.
Oh,
so sad. But yeah,
okay.
she was there this morning. I went up and
Birds.
took a picture, and she swooped over my head. Very scary.
We didn't
Introduce ourselves.
We didn't say, hey, this is April and
Megan,
and this is The Joy of Making Less.
Yes, and we are here, episode 4.
You can tell we're really making less here, but
Yes. But this is episode 4.
She's an instigator.
I am.
I like this palette that just popped up.
I know. I like this. The black is kind of cool.
The black with the berry, yeah. So like an all black border and everything. That would be cool.
Yeah, I'm already doing that with the that tessellated pullover that I'm doing, where my main color is black, and then I have kind of like a rainbow yarn coming throughout.
Sorry, I got it.
And I'm going to do all black sleeves is what I determined. We're kind of jumping around right now.
Yeah, we are. We're all over the place. We haven't seen each other in what, 3 weeks?
At least.
A month?
Yeah. It's been a lot.
So what have you been up to?
Well, we did some traveling. We went down and visited family. I gifted those
Santa
socks.
Fe, yes. Grandpa loved the socks.
Grandpa loved the socks. Showed them off to all the ladies at lunch. Sent me a message. It was so cute.
Well done.
That's what gift knitting is for, you know.
Yeah,
I didn't mind making it.
Megan. I don't gift knit, but
I didn't mind making it, and it was somebody who's knit worthy, so more than happy to do that.
Yeah.
I got a new car, which is kind of crazy.
Yeah, how are you liking your new car?
I love it.
Nice.
But I'm in it for 2 hours a day now, so I figured I might as well enjoy.
Yeah.
Get a step up, all that stuff. So that's fun. And yeah, otherwise just been recovering from the trip down there and cleaning our house and cleaning the garage out and stuff like that.
Walking around with a fan because it's 90 outside
Yes.
and it's only the beginning of June.
Yeah, we went on a hike this morning.
Nice.
It was great. I thought it would be a little bit cooler. We went up in the Golden, but it was not.
Sweating.
It was maybe 10 degrees cooler.
Yeah.
It was. We were up there at 7:45. We got to the trailhead.
I wasn't even out of
We
bed.
were the second people at the
Ambitious
trailhead.
little thing.
And we went on this whole hike, got back at the trailhead at 10.
Yeah.
And we were I was sucking wind. It was the first time we had been on a hike this year. So we were we kept it to around 4 miles. But I mean, my dog, Gromit, was he's black and white. He's Boston Terrier, so he's got the push-in nose, and he was suffering too. So yeah, we were all 3 of us were done, came home, had to bathe Gromit because he rolls around in the dirt to cool off.
Yeah.
In the shade, so we had to bathe him, and then he went into the guest bedroom and just slept on the couch or on the bed. And we were okay,
You're 1 point for Mom and Dad.
Yes, he was good for the rest of the day.
Sucker.
Yeah, so full of energy, but yeah,
I love that. That's adorbs. Ooh, maybe I'll add this color. Did I already get this color?
I think that one was the one that was super similar to the more saturated one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No,
Squirrel.
you're good. Yes. Squirrel.
Yeah.
What have you been up to?
I
You
went to San
you went
Francisco
traveling
last
too.
weekend,
Yeah.
and that was so much fun. My friend that we've been friends since junior high school.
Aw.
It wasn't middle school, it was junior high, so it was 9th grade. We've been friends ever since then, and we haven't seen each other in a couple of years.
Mm-hmm.
So we decided, you know what, let's go somewhere because we both turned 50 this year.
Right. Yay!
I know you can't tell.
Not a day over 25.
And so we decided, we picked San Francisco, and yeah, it was super fun. She was dealing with a little knee injury though, so we did take advantage of the city's Uber drivers, and they were all fantastic.
Awesome.
And we ate some really good food. Have you ever had a croffle?
No.
A croissant dough waffle? Kill me
Whoa.
now. This was the best thing. It's at Peacock Pansy in
Okay.
San Francisco. Go eat a croffle if you are in San Francisco.
A cruffle or a croffle?
Croffle. It's
Okay.
they take the croissant dough and they put it in a waffle maker.
Wow.
Kill me now. I mean,
I feel like people are putting a lot of things in waffle makers recently.
I'm here for it, and this was one of the best things I've ever put in my mouth. It was so good. It was so good. But the waiter was like, well, my favorite on the menu is the French toast made with brioche.
Wow.
And we were like, we have time to come back tomorrow morning before the flight, right?
Yeah.
So we did. We got up, we packed all our stuff, we lugged our suitcases into Peacock
Onwards
Pansy,
to the.
and we went and had we shared
French
a French toast, and we shared this truffle egg scramble with
Oh my
mushrooms
goodness.
and truffle oil and a little side salad. We were well behaved.
Yes.
We shared a croffle, so it wasn't crazy. Just
The second
little-
croffle.
Well, we only had one croffle,
Okay.
and then the next day we had the French
Gotcha.
toast.
Okay.
Yeah. We had their French toast, and it was amazing.
That sounds.
I did
awesome.
like the croffle better, but I'm more of a waffle person than a French toast person. The French toast was way up there on the top
Nice.
of the list of things I've eaten.
Tell me about the yarn
And
store.
I
too.
feel like anybody who says I'm a foodie is like just
They're putting they're yeah. Mhm.
But I like good food, so I've eaten a lot of good food
Yeah.
in my life. But this was
It's fun to get
This
out
was
and
a
try
meal to
something different,
remember.
too. Yeah.
And that we also went to this place. I'm gonna butcher the name, and I apologize. It was Thai, called Kin Khao,
Okay.
and
So
good.
good.
But we walked out of there and we just reeked like fish sauce or something.
Oh yeah,
you know,
garlic
like,
and all this stuff. Yeah.
Like the next morning, I was like smelling my jacket.
Yep.
I spent like 5 minutes in that yarn store. It was
Firebird yarns.
Firebird yarns, and it's super cute, really tiny.
Mhm.
I know they had some local stuff in there, but nothing like jumped out at me. And then
Yeah.
I felt like most of it was just stuff I can get anywhere.
Yeah, for sure.
So I don't, if I'm somewhere and I see like a really special sock skein that's local and maybe dyed custom for that shop,
For the shop,
then
yeah.
I'll grab a sock skein as a little souvie.
Yes.
But there was nothing that like super grabbed me.
Did you get any
And also, my
Subies?
friend's not a knitter, not a
Oh, okay.
maker.
So you were like dragging her in. She was like,
Yeah, it's not really, So, and she didn't care. Like by no means did she care. But that's part of it too. Is she didn't care.
Right.
So I couldn't be like, oh my god, look at this. Oh my god, look at that.
Touch this.
Yeah.
Squish this.
There was no Megan there to instigate.
Me being like, you could make a pressed flowers cardigan out of that. What about this?
Yeah. You could do this. You could do that. And
Yeah.
I'm like, oh yeah, that'll be on my list, and I'll get to it in 5 years.
Enabler. Yes.
Because of the pace that I go. But yeah, San Francisco was such an amazing.
Did you get
city.
any souvenirs?
Yeah, I got a couple little enamel pins.
Aw.
One of the painted lady houses, and
Oh,
one of a
cute.
hummingbird from the Conservatory of Flowers in
Oh,
Golden
cute.
Gate Park.
Yeah.
And above my desk where I work.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still waiting. Have you seen the meme where it says driving to work, and I'm still waiting for someone to call me and tell me I need to go to the sea and read and knit for my health
Oh.
instead of going to work. Well, I'm still waiting. So anyway, my work desk, and
I need to go to the
I have a-
sanatorium or whatever it is.
I'm like, I'll even, I wear the jacket a couple hours a day if it buys me free time the rest of the time. But that was really bad. Cut that out.
Okay. I meant like the old school sanatorium where they would go, not like in sanatorium, like where they would go with like TB and stuff to recover. Like up into the mountains and
Yeah,
the fresh air and stuff.
I think you gotta go sit by the sea.
That's fair too.
That's what
recoups you, I feel like.
I do. Yeah, I am a Pacific Northwester at heart.
Mhm.
I should have been from there. I should have been born there. So anywhere like Monterey, Carmel, and North, I'm like, I
In
feel
love.
like myself.
Yeah.
I mean, I love living here. Denver's great. The mountains are awesome.
I feel
but-
like you get a little bit of, you don't have a coast here obviously,
We don't
but
have
you
a
get a
coast.
little bit of like the mountain
Yeah.
people kind of thing, and it's
Yeah.
very similar.
Yeah, and it's, there's a lot of health consciousness here and
Yes.
things like that. But But I do when I text Thomas and I'm like, every time I'm in Seattle or when I was in San Francisco, I was like, oh my God, I just feel like myself, you know?
That's awesome.
And yeah, so I'm actually going to do a whole Pacific Northwest tour alone next year.
Nice.
So
I'm
you know,
glad
I'll
that
see
you
some
said
friends
a
in
tour,
Seattle. Yeah.
and you weren't like, I'm actually going to start looking at houses
No,
there
no, no,
and
no, no.
move my whole
No,
family there.
No, we can't afford to live there.
No, that's expensive.
We're too invested here in our house, and we want to, you know, neither of us grew up with stability. My husband and I, we both were moved around a lot as kids for various family issues and things. And when we got together, we decided our one goal was to raise the kids in one house.
In one house, that's awesome.
But our goal was to be settled someplace by the time they turned 5, and we did it by the time they. Taven was 3.5, and Blaze was 2.
Amazing.
So we beat our goal, and now we're committed. But you know, I realize I'm kind of a nomad. I'm always like, oh, I want to live here. I want to live there. What would it be like to live there? Oh, I want to move to Maine. Oh, I want to move to Boston. Oh, I want to go to, you know.
Yes.
I want to,
yeah.
I want to live in O'Connor.
Everywhere.
I want to live on Bainbridge Island. I mean. It's so funny, yeah.
Everywhere we visit, I'm like looking on Zillow, like, I could live here. I could live here. This could be my house, and this would be my day, and this is where I would work, and I think that's just part of being a person. And
in my fantasies, I don't work. I go back to not working. Yeah. I kind of told Thomas the other day, I'm like, you know, I feel like when we kind of got together that we had an unspoken deal that you were going to take care of me. And he's like, yeah, we kind of did. And I said, but then I had to be an idiot and go, I'm going to go back to work and put on my little cape. Dun, da, da, da.
Super mom.
So anyway, but it's good. You know, working's good. I'm very grateful to have a good job. Yeah, so San Francisco, awesome. What else? I got a tote bag.
Oh,
I don't have it down here. Just from the conservatory flowers, which was so cool. They had so many crazy species in this little greenhouse on Golden Gate Park.
Mm-hmm.
And I got I did not pack correctly.
Oh.
It was, you know, when you look at the temperature, you're like, oh, it's 60 here, it's fine. No. It's way colder there.
Oh,
the same temperature because you got wind chill.
Yep.
And humidity.
Yes.
And I was freezing. So we rented a car on last Saturday, and we drove down the coast to Monterey and Carmel. And the day before, we were in Sausalito, and I bought like a long sleeve T-shirt and a little pair of like skinny stretch
legging things,
jean legging things that I found on sale at a little shop. And I just threw that on my long sleeve T-shirt. I bought a hoodie, and that's what I rode. So here I am roaming around this very high-end shopping area in Carmel. Everyone is like dressed to the nines, and I have my flip-flops, these jeans that are like frayed on the edge, and a big T-shirt and a big hoodie, and I'm like, I don't care. No. I'm warm.
Yeah.
And comfortable. Yeah. So
I'm visiting.
And I got the boys each a T-shirt, and I got Thomas a long sleeve T-shirt.
Nice.
And that's it. I didn't go too crazy myself. Yeah, because there's so much crap to buy.
I know. I like to get, so like when we were in LA and Santa Ana in February, I didn't get a single, we were literally at Disney World, and we didn't get a single
even I would have struggled with that.
We didn't get a single souvenir, mostly because it's like the paralysis by like way too many choices of like.
I would have got an enamel pen. Yeah, that's kind of my thing now. Is either a little skate sock or
a little bit of flair.
Yeah.
So we, but what I did get is we stumbled on like a little stationery store, and I needed a notebook because I was interviewing and I was jotting down notes, but I didn't have a notebook with me, so I got this tiny little flip book Japanese stationery notebook, and the one edge is like a rip top notepad where it's like glued on the side.
Yeah.
One side of this notepad is glued so that when you're writing on it, like you can write on it and then you rip the page to put it behind because it's spiraled on top. It is the cutest thing ever.
Love that.
And I've deemed it my travel journal.
I'm sorry, but Japanese and Korean designers make the best stationery.
I was just like, who would have thought?
Cutest, you know.
Oh yeah, and I got a tiny little baby pen. I mean, but like now I'll always remember I got those like in downtown Santa Ana.
Yeah.
So, like,
Yeah.
kind of practical things that you can also
Yeah.
incorporate into your life
Oh,
and
I did.
show stuff.
So I'm fresh off of listening to The Day the World Stopped Shopping.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Okay.
And-
Did you finish it?
Oh,
I only
yeah.
got like halfway through,
No,
I think.
I did the audiobook and I
Mhm.
listened to the whole thing, and it was really illuminating.
Yeah.
And just, you know, and I really see it now, like, everywhere you go, that's all there is to go and do is go shopping.
I know.
You know, I was trying to, that wasn't my first choice of what to do in San Francisco, but, you
What
know,
else
when
are
you're
you gonna
traveling
do?
with other people and and there's so many shops around, and
Yep.
you just, like, I didn't even want to go in them, and I still felt gravitate, you know, a pull to go
Yeah.
in, and then a pull to, like,
Buy something.
Yeah.
Because there's no such
Oh.
thing as what the third place is what they call it, where it's like there's work, home, and then somewhere else where you should be able to go and not feel compelled to buy something.
Right.
Did he talk about that at all? I can't remember.
I think, yeah, he did a little bit.
So like
Mhm.
the death of the third place, like
Yeah.
libraries exist, but they're not like as much of a pillar of
Right.
society
Yeah.
anymore.
Yeah,
You're
that's
more
true.
likely to go to a bookstore and buy a book at the
And buy something,
bookstore
right.
and sit at the cafe
I know, I'm a
and
weirdo.
buy
I
a
love the
pastry.
I love the library. Yeah, that's true. Even
You
just
know.
a right, you know.
So
And just how even like the way we just consume so much all the time, even in our day-to-day lives, which now seems normal to us, like air conditioning.
yes,
And I thought, you know, I hear you, man, but I am not turning off my air conditioning.
not this week, not this
right
week.
now. I mean, you know, but we are on solar energy, so that.
Yes.
But even he pointed out, like, you know, a lot of times you think you're doing good, and then you end up, it puts this thing in your mind where you justify more consumption because you're offsetting.
Right.
It actually makes the problem worse instead of better.
It's the
So
same thing about like you
it's
were
maybe-
talking about driving yourself crazy, trying to be super granola and zero waste and everything,
Mhm.
and it's like, but you're consuming more of your mental capacity.
Well, that too, yeah.
in order
that
to
too.
execute that. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's a very interesting
Yeah,
book.
and there's not a lot right now. In the parenting years, the mental capacity.
I can imagine. Yes.
I feel like the kids like pulled out my brain and then they took their little tiny feet and they lurched all over.
And then put it back in.
And then they put it back in.
Nice. Yeah.
Yeah, it's starting to come back a little bit now
Mhm.
that they're older, and you know they're having deeper thoughts and
Yes.
starting to look at the world, and you know all
It's
this
not
stuff.
always the random meltdowns about
Mm,
everything, but
yeah. So, are you working on anything?
oh yeah, I
You got
am.
some projects
You
going
know
on?
I am. So I just finished. Yesterday was the last emotional support chicken class at
Oh
the
yeah.
Tingle Hall.
How was the
It was
support
really
chicken class?
good.
Was it fun?
It was really fun. I got to see one completed.
Nice.
So I don't know where
They're gonna be cropping up.
the state. Oh yes. And there's a little bit of a contest going on right now. So I don't think Justin's mom watches this, but if she does,
Look away.
I have almost like I have like I don't know what to call it, the skin of
The carcass.
the carcass of my my chicken. I just finished the beak today right before I came.
It's so pretty.
And she is huge into all things turquoise jewelry and everything, so
Yeah.
I kind of added in this additional.
I love it.
I think the yarn is like called sunflower or something like that, and I made her socks in that yarn
That's
several
nice.
years ago, so I like incorporated that into the chicken. I still have to do the bottom piece and then seam everything together and stuff it through the butt. That's where they have you stuff it, is legitimately through the butt.
Yeah.
So I'm so close on this, and I really do want to
That
get
could
it
go in
done.
so many directions. But
I know.
I'm gonna behave myself.
Please
This
do.
is a family show.
Please do. What else do you have? I have 2 other things.
Oh,
I'm
yeah,
working
keep going.
on.
You
Okay.
keep going. Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I also have I started a cotton and silk blend tee for me to wear on my honeymoon in September. I think that's a pretty healthy goal.
Yeah.
September
Yeah.
for it.
Oh, you'll finish. You'll be.
But
before September already.
this is a Cumulus Tee O-neck by Petite Knit. And I started off, I thought I was going to do a large, and I've decided to do a medium instead because it's cotton, so it's going to grow a little bit.
Grow.
So it's just a simple raglan. The yarn is this Tweedy yarn by Lanes du Nord. I'm probably butchering that. But it's cotton silk tweed. It's made in Italy. So I figured probably perfect. But the thing that amazes me is every time I pull it out of the bag and I haven't been working on it, feel how cool it is.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
So I'm like,
that's
okay, that's
nice.
going to be really nice and
Yeah.
kind of moisture wicking and temperature regulating and all of that fun stuff. So that's the majority of what I worked on when I was down
who
in
doesn't
Santa
love
Fe.
some silk content?
I know. I think that the silk is just the tweed.
That's nice.
Yeah.
I like it.
So,
Yeah.
that one's fun.
I like the cotton yarn. Here
neutral, kind of just chill, beachy deal.
Yeah, and that'll go with everything
much
in your
stuff.
wardrobe.
Yes.
Yeah. So that's smart.
And then I have started, my Rebecca.
Mm-hmm.
Hi, Rebecca, if you're watching this.
Yeah. As opposed to my Rebecca, who's my sister.
Exactly. So we have to clarify who's Rebecca we're talking about. But Rebecca and I started.
You got a brioche going.
We started a brioche delicious.
Good, because
she's way farther along than I am.
Fine. It's not a competition.
It is not a competition.
I know you're
but
not
that's
used
a
to
bad-
that. I know you're not used to somebody being ahead.
I know. So
I
this
think
is
it's good for you. Way to go, Rebecca.
Yes,
Put her
Rebecca's
on her
doing
plate.
great.
Yeah.
So
Well, you're doing great too. That looks amazing.
thank you.
Yeah. Is this your first brioche project?
This is the first one that's going to be like large chunks of brioche.
Yeah.
I did a little bit of brioche in one
like
of
your
the
colors.
Stephen West shawls. So this is just like a regular undyed knit picks, and then this back color, this blue, is from the
I like this side.
mystery sock along last year that Stephen West did. That
Yeah.
he started again this year. I did not sign up for it.
I'm proud of
I
you.
have to back away from
Yeah.
things like that because I got so overwhelmed. I got halfway through the first sock and then I quit because I couldn't do it.
Who's this?
That's Hagrid with this little umbrella.
Oh my god. Where did you get these?
I think that's simply serving.
I can't pass up the
The little anything Harry Potter. Yeah. So that was it's my little Hagrid. I have no idea if it's focusing, so sorry in advance. But I have a lighter blue that'll be the next stripe.
Oh, nice, yeah.
And then the stripe after that is like a chartreusey Madeline Tosh.
Yeah.
And then I think I'll do this blue along the border. She does like an I-cord edge for that. So that is an Andrea Mowbray.
I like an I-cord edge.
But it's so squishy because you got
Oh, is
garter.
that an Andrea?
Yes.
Oh, I forgot brioche was hers.
Yeah. So it's got
I'm
garter
slipping.
parts.
Oh, no, I was the one true fan.
Oh yeah, here's the blue that I'm gonna
Well,
be using.
I will say I'm not as bad as like, oh, she released that pattern in 2000 and
Yeah.
this many grams of yarn and that much color and this is what she said.
That's fair.
I don't do that, so I'm good.
Did you buy her new
No,
pattern?
I don't buy everything she puts out just because I do like her new pattern.
Yes.
It does look like something I would
But
wear.
I feel like it's very similar to the one that I bought you for your birthday.
the
Shell.
shell, the polo,
Yeah.
no, I think it's completely different than that.
Oh, okay.
Because that's from the
Oh,
Traveler
she's got a pullover. It's a pullover, but she has one where she
There's a short sleeve
ends
version
it,
and a
yes.
long sleeve
Okay.
version. Yeah.
Gotcha.
And it's like an oversized, it kind of has a drop hem. It's
okay.
more cropped in the front and then drops.
In
And,
the
and
back.
she's saying like, 12 to 20 inches of positive ease because it's supposed to be like super drapey. So you
drapey.
got to be mindful of the yarn you're going to use for
Yes.
that one. I think maybe eventually I might get around to making it, but I want to make what I've got already,
Absolutely. Yeah. And a Jethro.
Yeah, and a Jethro. Because we have the yarn for it.
Yes,
so.
exactly. That is one of that's the thing is I had the yarn for this. I haven't bought yarn.
Yeah.
I picked up
because
yarn.
we're gonna stash buster here.
Yes.
Here.
Because I get paid in yarn. So
That's not a bad.
that's fine. It's not a bad gig.
I think that's an equitable exchange.
Yes.
So.
Yeah. Tell me what you got going on.
Well, so.
I see your socks.
Yeah, but look.
Is it the second
I
one?
have a finished sock. Doo-da, doo-da.
Amazing.
Here.
Did we ever figure out if that yarn is glow in the
I
dark?
don't think it is.
Okay.
It
Maybe
doesn't
it's
say
UV
anywhere
light.
on the label, but we have some. When Thomas is back, I'll check it out. We are recording, right?
Yes.
I hope so.
Yeah.
And then I cast it on my second
The toe.
sock.
The little baby toe is there.
Little toe.
Amazing.
Yeah, and I like it. It's the Turkish cast on.
Ooh,
Which
I
I
don't
like.
think I've done that.
You hold your, you do a slip knot. You put your slip knot on your top needle, and then you wrap around half as many stitches as you cast on.
So if you were casting on
20, let's say you're going to cast on 28 stitches, you've got your needles held.
Wait,
right?
sorry, my brain, I hope everybody just saw that because my brain went out the window. So if you were casting on for a regular sock for me, I do 64 stitches total.
But but see, it's what you end up with at the toe because these are toe up.
Okay. So at the end of my toe, I have 8 and 8.
So you have 16.
Okay.
So yeah, so let's say then you would wrap 8 times,
Okay.
right? And then once you wrap 8 times, you hold it, you pull it over, you pull your bottom needle out, and then you knit across.
Okay.
And you keep doing that. You kind of do that like 2 or 3 times across both needles. I think it's 3 times. I don't know. I have to watch the video every time I do it because I don't do it enough. And then I'm like, how many times do you go back and forth? But it creates this really nice,
seamless, yeah.
Right?
Gorgeous.
It makes a nice, really nice toe edge.
Cute.
For the Turkish cast on.
I love that yarn. I think that
it's really nice.
That might be the next one that, the next sock that I cast on when I finally finish my ones that I started
And then I have
in March.
my non-fun tip protectors because they're small.
I have those on my,
Yeah, I gave you
I'm knitting that cotton shirt on a size 1.
Really?
On my sock needles.
Wow. These are 2. I use a 2 for socks.
For socks.
That's just what I found works for that for the everyday sock pattern.
Yeah.
Which is the only sock pattern
that you know how to do. Yes.
I've done a couple others.
The only one you.
But I really like the way the socks fit, so I keep going back to it. But and I cast on my.
That is so blue. I love it.
The trestle tee.
Okay.
By Tiffany Allen, and this is the back yoke.
Okay.
And then you do some business and you do some business and you join it. It's got a crochet provisional cast on.
Nice. Remind me, have you done one of these before?
A trestle tee?
Yes.
No, this is my first time making the pattern. But this yarn is Charlotte Yarn Lada, I think.
Ooh, okay.
But the cool thing about it, so it's this blue, and then it's a drop shoulder, and then it just gets a
cute little.
I think it's a fisherman's rib.
Oh, cute.
Around.
Yeah.
And it's knit with the 2 colors together, and just that little pop of yellow right around there. And my sister made one. I think she did like a green and something, but yeah.
Nice little accent.
I like these colors.
Yeah.
I mean, the yarn is nice. But this was the one thing that we did suffer through Woolen Folk to find. My sister was like, she had a mission, and it was find the Charlotte Yarn booth.
Yes.
And we did. And we bought just enough for the sweater, and then we were out of there.
Yep.
We were out of there because it was crazy.
And then that was when I was texting you, we parked at Walmart,
Yeah,
and you're like, we're gone.
We're leaving. Good luck. Good luck. So yeah, that's what I've got going on. And I did finish the blanket. I'm not going to show it again because it was mostly finished last time.
Right, yes.
But yeah, that's on my
And
bed.
some of those colors are in our...
Some of those colors are in this mix. And, I don't know offhand which, because she tends to use like 15 color combos for her blanket patterns. So she has her little formula,
Yeah.
And it works. But so some of these colors are in that blanket. Some of these I've got two other of her blankets, and then I've got the kit for for her coastal blanket that she released a couple years ago.
Cute.
And I immediately bought the kit, and then I was like, oh, well, I got to finish the meadow blanket first.
Yes.
So
you did.
And I did.
Awesome.
I finally finished it. It only took me like 2 years.
Are you missing your blanket whip yet, or are you like
happy
for the reprieve?
Yeah. I'm gonna. I probably will cast it on again in the winter. The thing is because it gets
heavy,
long, and it gets heavy, and then you're sitting underneath it.
Yep.
And I really like that in the fall and winter time because our air conditioning, it sucks, right? It's an older house. And our unit, I think, is undersized because that's what the builder did. And so upstairs, it's either hot or it's cold.
Yep.
and it, unless it's like spring and 50 out, we've got all the windows open, then it's nice everywhere. But it starts off, the temperature just goes up as you go up. So I just can't. It's too hot for me to do it in the summertime.
I can't even do like a really thick sweater in the summer.
Yeah.
Even.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I'm gonna do this, and then and I got that cardigan that that
we're gonna do, but that's
what's
nice because the Jethro.
The Jethro.
Because you can do the granny squares.
Yeah, you just do the squares, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's nice. I like that because that's really portable.
Yes.
And carrying around a crochet hook with you is easy.
Yes. And a crochet project, from what I understand, is easy as well to set down because you just have the loop.
You just have one loop and you
a little
just
bigger.
Put a thing. Well, yeah, you can do that, or I just put a stitch marker in it.
Gotcha.
But even if it pulls out a couple stitches, it's really easy to find where you were. It's not the same. It's much more forgiving, I find, than just my personal opinion is I find it's a lot easier. And I don't know, it's easier to fix mistakes. It's easier to...
Well, cool. I'll bring you all my mistakes.
It's easier to rip back,
Yes.
I mean, I gotta rip them out, but I've never figured out how to how you can kind of drop down and fix mistakes kind of in the middle of knitting.
Down. Yeah.
You can't do that with crochet.
Yeah.
Not that I know of. Maybe somebody who's an expert crochet hooker
could figure it out.
Could do it, but that's not. I can't even wrap my head around that. Can't even wrap the old noodle around it.
Can't noodle on that one.
Yeah, and then I had so much trouble with the loof bag pattern.
Yes.
Half the pattern kept printing out at a different scale.
I wonder if that was what was wrong with mine because I kind of fudged it.
Yeah, it was, and it wasn't just a little off. It's way off.
And I was like, am I wrong?
I don't know. I had never had an issue with any of their files before from So Liberated, but I feel like maybe there's something wrong with that print at home file for the layoff bag. I keep meaning to email them and say, hey, have you heard? Has anyone else said this? Because I don't know. I set the printer, I checked the scale, and at first I was like, oh, you printed it the wrong scale.
Right.
And then I was like, oh, no, wait a minute. I just checked and I printed it at the right scale and I laid it out, and the first, it's like 8 tiles, I think. 8
yeah,
pages,
and it's like the first ones are fine, and then it's like you get the second row is like
bigger.
Yes.
It's at a bigger scale.
Huh.
So I gave up because I was just getting pissed off and I was getting upset. And I was like, this is supposed to be fun, damn it.
Yes.
So
I'm supposed to be having fun.
Yeah, it's like reminded me of going on vacation with my mom as a kid, and she'd be like,
"Everybody,
we're gonna shut up, sit in the car, be quiet. We're having fun." And I'm like, "Oh, are we?
Are we? Yes."
So anyway, so I sent him off. I just sent the shop off. I got it back.
Okay.
But I don't know. I was so tired after getting back from San Francisco.
Oh,
and
yeah.
It was kind of a busy week, and then Thomas left today he's doing a solo trip, and I've just been playing Zelda. Sorry, sorry, not sorry.
Yeah, don't be sorry about that.
I think I'm going through these spurts with Tears of the Kingdom. I can't put it down.
Creativity comes in waves. I've been working on my estuary off and on. I got the pockets done, but funny story.
Are you doing the patch pockets or the
inseam?
Nice. I like that version a lot.
What I did is I sewed the back ones on, and then I set it down and went away, went to Santa Fe, came back, and I went to I did the front pocket correctly, and I look at the back, and I had sewn them on the wrong side instead of the right side.
Oh, yeah.
So I had to rip those out, and then I re-sewed those, did the second front, and then sewed that all together. And where I am held up right now is the gathering stitches. I did the gathering stitches 3 times on one side, and I can't get the pocket together. Isn't that weird? Because she's so over where the pocket is.
Are you're using the
longest stitch, like a size, like a number 5 or whatever it is, as high up as my
your
machine can go. Yeah. And I'm pulling on just one side of the bobbin threads, and I'll get to the pocket, and it stops. And then I'll try to finagle it, and I'm
crunch it up.
I'm gonna crunch it up, and then
I don't know. Maybe I.
And then it snaps.
It snaps. Yeah.
And I did that 3 times, and then I was like, I'm done with this,
I know.
and put it away.
Yeah.
So I'm like,
So
how weird
let's look
would it?
at it because I don't know offhand, and I'm no sewing expert. But
How weird would it look if I didn't gather the pockets too? It's my
well,
other thing.
that's what I was wondering. But I think you really need to. Yeah, to get the waist to come down small enough.
Because the waist, it's all about the front and like fitting it.
Are
within
you
the
sure
front
you're
placket.
pulling the right threads?
The back threads and 2 of them on the same side. I was confused at the beginning because she had you based.
Yeah, because you got to base the pocket down at the top because the pocket comes all the way up
And that
gets
base
captured by the
stitch
waistband,
is
right?
in the middle of
Right.
the 2 gather stitches. So I did make sure, and then I went so far as to like rip the based stitch out.
And it should
It
just
still
gather.
had
Let's
issues.
look at it.
I mean, I might like
I can come over.
yeah.
Some
I might
point
sew them
bring-
and bring it over to you
Yeah,
and be
you
like,
can-
gather this for me.
You can bring it over here, and we can
Figure it
just,
out.
Yeah, we can take a look, see.
Yeah.
See it.
Yeah, I was like, this should not be this hard because
Worst
it's like
case scenario is we can we can FaceTime my stepmom and cry
Yes,
for help
and
because
ask her.
she's like a master. She's amazing.
that would be awesome. But yeah,
She's-
I was like, this is literally 2 sentences in the entire pattern, and it broke me.
You're like, what am I doing wrong? I thought I was smart.
Yes, I was like, how? And then the other thing I haven't done is actually YouTube how to use gathering stitches. So I have some more research
Yeah.
to do, but I was also kind of at the end of like where I was like, okay, I finished the pocket, success, and I fixed my past mistake, success. Should I stop now? No, keep going,
Sometimes
and that's when I
think
need to
you
stop.
you gotta. I do think I am a big advocate of just setting something down, walking away, because sometimes you go back a week later and you're like, why was I struggling with this so
Right?
much?
Yeah,
Duh.
yeah,
Or you realize like what you had done, it kind of sits in your mind and gels, even though
Yep.
if you don't have like a moment of like, oh, it's still you go back to it and you're like, oh, you just pull here. It's just what? Why
Yeah.
did I struggle with this?
yeah.
That's my experience anyway. And I mean, I'll put stuff down and come back like a month later.
You
and
know?
be like, oh.
Yeah.
So anyway, I have the fabric out for my louvre.
You just
And
have to cut out the
I
the-
need to cut out the pattern,
Pattern, okay.
and I think it's gonna go together really quickly.
It does go. I mean, I
Um,
put mine together in a day, so.
I'm excited about it. I was gonna try it. I had gotten it out because I was like, oh, this would be a cute little bag for San
San
Francisco.
Francisco, yeah.
But then I had all the problems with the scale and
Yeah.
everything, and so I decided, and I don't know, I'm kind of over printing patterns at home and
Yeah.
taping them together.
It delays.
Especially for a garment, I'm not
Yeah.
going to do it anymore because I've been using pdfplotting.com
Mhm.
and they do a great job. I feel like the prices are reasonable,
Nice.
and if you order like 5 patterns at once or something, you get like 20%. They have like a
Nice.
scale
Yeah.
of ordering
much you get
patterns.
printed,
So I've
yeah.
got a whole bunch of patterns printed out. I need to get
Nice.
sewing.
I know.
I need to do my hinterland class, and then
I
I
need
bought
to-
their
yeah.
chanterelle pants class.
Nice.
Because I have made their pajama pants, the nocturne pajama pants,
Mm-hmm.
but those are cut pajama pants. So honestly, it looks like you kind of dropped a load in your shorts from the back. Like the butt does not. I
Yeah.
tried to wear them out, and I caught a glimpse of myself in a
You're
mirror
like,
walking
"You?"
by, and I'm like, I look like I crapped my pants. I'm not wearing these out of the house again. And I love them for in the house. So they really are a pajama pant,
Yes.
in my opinion.
Yeah.
I think the top is more versatile for kind of doing whatever with. And now that I think about it, I think they do model the top as a top to wear out. They never model
Model
the
the
pants
bottoms,
as a pant you would leave the house in.
Right.
And then part of me is like, well, who cares? They're comfortable. Then I'm like,
Yeah.
I don't care, and I do care a little.
Yes.
So it's one of those
A little for
situations.
yourself.
But so
Yes.
I'm looking forward to the chanterelle class because you learn how to fit pants and all of that, and I love that style of pants.
Yes.
I have a pair of pants from Conscious Clothing that kind of has that little gathered detail.
Oh
at
yeah,
the
you're gonna do the like
ankle.
balloony kind of thing.
Yeah.
The one thing that I saw, and I'm so mad I can't actually watch it anywhere, is the Great British Sewing Bee is going on right now.
Mhm.
It's like Great British Bake Off but sewing.
What?
You
Shut
know
up.
about this?
What?
Yes, it's so cool.
How do we watch it?
I think
We need to move to Britain.
yep.
Gotta
That's
move
it.
to the UK countries.
This woman made these, I'll have to find the video after this, made these gorgeous palazzo pants that had all these like delicate gathers and everything. So much fabric. It took so much fabric, but
Yeah.
the woman wearing them was like, of course, this gorgeous like skinny model.
Yeah, oh yeah.
And like, but these pants were just like,
Yeah.
it was mind blowing,
Yeah.
you know, but yeah, I'll have to show you some clips from it.
I know. How do we watch it?
I don't know.
Can
I
we
still need to
watch it?
figure it out. I think that's my research project.
What's that one that Tan France and Gigi Hadid hosted? It's and they design and sew, and that was so fun. I loved watching that. It was like what they were turning out with like no time. I was like, I can't even make a box dress in that amount of, you know, like,
Right? Yeah. No, in an afternoon. Like, I can't imagine.
I mean, they're just turning out like a collection. I
But
mean,
British Sewing Bee, they do like, it's like Great British Bake Off where they have the like technical challenge and the, you know, the like Be Creative Showstopper challenge and all that stuff too.
Oh, I love
so
that.
cool.
I do love the Great British Bake Off.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Thanks for being here.
Yeah, thanks for joining us again. I'm so
think-
glad we got to get back to it. I think
Yes.
that I was missing
Our
it.
goal is every 2 weeks,
Yes.
but life gets in the way.
Absolutely.
We've had travel plans, and it just didn't work out.
Yeah.
And so here we are.
Maybe
so,
this might be a little bit of a longer episode too, just so because we caught up with
because
it.
maybe people have missed us.
Yeah,
We've
I
missed
don't
you
know.
guys.
We've missed you guys. Yeah.
So yeah, thanks for being here. Happy making.
Yeah.
Hope you make something fun or just spend time with people you love.
Yeah, give us a like and maybe share to somebody that you love as well.
Yeah.
Another crafter in your life.
Convert a crafter.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that would be fun.
I think everybody should make something.
Yes.
It's therapeutic.
Yep, I agree. All right. Bye, everybody.
Ciao.